Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 10. We've officially made it to double digits. To most people, getting double digits in a series is not really that big of a deal, but it's the first time I've done it, and I've had many past series. I've just been really bad at keeping up with them. So I feel kind of special in having one that finally get to 10, and so I want to do something a little special for that, just at the beginning of today's episode, because I thought it'd be pretty cool. The past 10 episodes of the Biomes SMP series have covered about the past 3 months on this server, which is not that much, but it's enough time to actually get quite a bit done. So I'd like to take the start of today's episode to just go through and kind of recap what has been done. Starting, of course, with our first island down here. Episode 1, we obviously had the cooperative mining event down there. There was the little booth. It's gone now, unfortunately. And then near the end of the episode, we built our first little island here, which is still unchanged. Eventually, I'll probably come back through and redo it, especially the tree. It was a nice starting point, and it felt good to do. Now, episode 2 tackled the friend portal. At the time the friend portal was made, there was only actually 3 people on the server, which was Bean, Autumn, and Sherbert. And I wanted more people, so I thought, the best way to add them, I'm gonna make a build for it, rather than just throwing them in and then having them walk down through spawn. That's boring. And so we made the friend portal, and then we introduced both Leah and Madeline to the server in the next episode. They have been wonderful additions since then. Done a lot of good stuff for the server. Now, episode 3 had us dealing with this trial chamber. Oh my god, I'm not gonna go in there, but episode 3 had me, Madeline, Autumn, and Leah all taking on this trial chamber here underneath what used to be Sherbert's base. It was very fun, and I'm glad we did that. Now, episode 4 had us return to the islands as our person was looking really lonely, and so I spent the episode making 3 big islands with varying purposes. First up was the to-do list island. This is still one of my favorite islands. I don't use it much anymore. Oh. I don't use the to-do list island much anymore, but the other 2 I get a lot of use out of, because this one is my smell tree. Oh, why are these open? This smell tree was very fun to make. I kind of like it. It could use a bit of work, but overall I think it turned out really well, and it's very functional, which was the main purpose. And then the last island we added was the tower island, which has since turned into my pseudo storage room down here. I do want to do an actual storage room eventually, but this was a nice place to just keep all my stuff. There's more room if I need storage as well. Yeah, very nice. Now, episode 5 is kind of hard to show because I really didn't do all that much, like, visually. What we did in episode 5 is we got my mace, which I have since lost. It's somewhere in my chest, but I'm not quite sure. That is still the most viewed Realm SMP episode. Hopefully we're going to beat that soon, but holds a special place in my heart for that. And as we fly over here, the content of episode 6 was the tag and its respective tower. This is still gotta be my favorite build that I've done here on the Realm SMP. It just looks too good not to love, especially these cherry blossoms. I tried really hard on these cherry blossoms. I think they came out wonderfully. Now, the tag is still missing in action. It's still on Rattler last I checked, and he just hasn't been on to tag anyone. So for now, it still lays dormant, but I'm sure soon it'll come back into play and we'll have to start worrying again. I think it's a very good idea, and I can't wait to see how it escalates. Episode 7, much like episode 5, is kind of hard to show the content, but looking at your screen right now, you can see the main thing we got, which was the elytra. And then we also went and got my 3 new music discs, Precipice and both creators. I still use them quite often, and they are my favorite music discs. Well, mainly the creators, but there's a reason why they are my outro music. Episode 8 was probably my most productive episode in the Realm SMP yet. We established the industrial district, which had a lot of time lapses, but more importantly, a lot of useful farms. It started off with this cobblestone generator here, which was really the crutches of the entire video. As you can see, everything I made is out of cobblestone, just because it's so easy to get. I mean, look at all this. I ran this barely at all, and I have a ton of cobble. I mean, look at this. I barely ran this machine for maybe 20 minutes, and I have all of this cobblestone. When am I going to use all of this? And if I need more, if I do use it, well, I'll just turn it back on. It's really not that hard. And then after that, we built the creeper farm for all the gunpowder I could ever need, and this has also been a lifesaver because I am terrible when it comes to using rockets. I use them like there's no tomorrow, and this allows me to quite easily. It's not incredibly productive, but it's more than I need. So I'm very grateful to the design, or for the design. And then the next farm that I built was the villager breeder. I needed a lot of villagers, and as you can see, they've been building up ever since. Eventually they start forming these, like, I call them villager singularities, because there's so many entities crammed in that one spot that it just doesn't want anymore. so they kind of get launched around. It's the funniest thing. Those villages were, of course, used for the iron farm, which I must say was probably my least favorite project on this server. It is so annoying transporting mobs over here in the middle of the ocean, but it is very effective. As you can see, we have so much iron, more than I realistically will need in a while. The primary reason why I got that much iron is I like using it for beacons, but it also has other uses like for other redstone machines and some anvils, because I like using anvils and builds. And last but not least, we have the latest episode, episode number 9, which was the pool party. This was the most fun episode to make by far. I had a blast hanging out with everyone here at the party. Once again, massive thanks to Cole for setting it all up. I hope you all enjoyed it. As of when I'm recording this segment, it literally came out about 3 hours ago, so I'm not sure exactly what people think about it yet, but I'm sure they enjoyed it. It was very, very funny. And now that we've looked through the past 10 episodes of the Realm SMP, it's time to start looking towards the future. It is episode 10, and there is stuff I want to get done today. So first of all, we should probably do the old classic and clean up the island, because it's a bit messy again. First of all, we have this monument of some sort. Emotional support provided by Ferris, or Sherbert even. I was 50% involved in this, Ferris, and yeah, so there's a gift from Bean, Ferris, and Sherbert, I guess. But if I, just take a second, and it'll be gone. And just like that, that's gone. And there's one more thing I want to take down over here. I believe this is Autumn's enchantment pop-up shop. She originally had it stationed over there in between Cole and Ferris, but they told her to move it, and so she moved it here. So I think the funniest thing I can do here is just move it again. So I think I'm actually going to move it inside of Autumn's basement, which I haven't showcased yet, but it's been looking really good. So that'll give me an excuse to showcase it finally. Let's quickly take it and take it over, I guess. And it's been moved. Oh, hang on. And it's been fully moved down to its new home, Autumn's base. And I'm now realizing this is actually a pretty poor angle. It's the unfinished side of the basement. So if I quickly turn around, it's not all new. I was down here a few episodes ago for the tag, but there's been a new doorway added, and I think her bedroom was actually completed since the last time we've been down here. Comes with some nice allays. It's very overgrown. Well, not too overgrown, though. It's a controlled overgrown. And I think it looks very nice. We take a quick step inside, make sure the allays don't leave. The floating candles, floating pots from the ceiling, and the bed itself, not functional. If you want function, it's down there. And it just looks really nice. A jukebox as well for all the creator you could ever need. Very, very nice. Now, she has been working over here recently. And before we go, I was going to mention how much I love this hallway. It's got like the star, a singular star, not, or is it the moon? Maybe it's the moon. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe stupid. And then over here we have her storage system, which is still a work in progress room, but it's looking very nice. That should be up. She's going for some copper, I see. I believe there's going to be a bit of a problem here with the old Sherbert and Ferris and them. I think they have a bit of a deal on copper, but hopefully it's a little big of a deal. And then you have her own super smelter here, which, I'm not going to complain. She kind of ripped off me, but oh well. For now, it's time to get our episode content moving. Now that we've cleaned up the islands, there's one more chore I want to do before we actually spend this episode doing some more of our islands, because I'd like to get some more work done on that today. So for the past 3 months, we've all had nether portals kind of scattered around the nether. I'd kind of like to start consolidating a bit of a nether hub, but I think the easiest way of doing that is going to be moving them to the top of the nether roof. So we're going to take all the portals, we're going to make a hole in the bottom of the nether, and then we're going to move them all up into their proper positions so we can all just easily get between each other's bases, because right now it can be a little tedious. Not too bad, but it'll be a lot easier once down the roof. So let's get some obsidian and ender pearl and some ladders, and I'll meet you up there. And just like that, there is a hole down to the actual nether. This took a lot longer than I'd like to admit. I thought I'd go in, knock it out in about 15 minutes. I think it took a little over an hour, maybe an hour and a half-ish. It's painful. I didn't realize how painful breaking bedrock was. The important thing is, though, it is done, so I can initiate phase number 2 of the project. Phase 2 just consists of me going around to the overworld and getting the coordinates of all the portals, and then building their correspondence up here on the roof. So I'll go ahead and cut to you guys once that's done and everyone has been moved up. And we have the portals all set up, nice pathways. They're all properly labeled. We have the first resemblance of a nether hub. Now, this is probably all temporary. Someone may come through and try to design a bit of a nether hub to better connect us all, but for now, I think this does the job nicely. Over here, you have Autumn's portal. You got Leah's right there. Here's mine. In the distance, you can barely see the tag tower portal. We'll be doing more work there soon, trust me. Not this episode, but probably in a few episodes. Right here, we have Ferrist's portal, and then Cole's portal's right there, and then ending it with Sherbert's portal there. And then obviously the hole to get back down to the others right here. Just fall through, and we're back. It's looking a lot more empty now. I think I did miss a few portals that are not on the nether roof, so I'm sure my server mates will take it upon themselves to move them up there, and then I can connect it all. Now on to the next thing we're doing today. The islands. I'm going to tackle these 4 islands right here. I will eventually get to that one down there, but I think I'm going to put that one up with another island I'm probably going to put back there, or like do those 3 islands type of thing. I'll figure it out. But I want to focus on this side today because, I don't know, I feel like these are colony and I have ideas. So I originally wanted this to be a barn. I kind of want to go for it still, but I'm not entirely sure because of the theme I'm going to go for. I really like what Cole's done here with this island. This is a bit of a prank, but I like it. It's, for those who don't know, this is an inside joke for me and Cole about another server we were in. We had a Viking area called Minnesota, and so that's kind of where this is coming from. And I kind of like it, and so I think this island is pretty much done. It needs a few more details, maybe some custom spruce trees if I can figure them out, and a bottom. And then after that, it'll be done. So let's start off by just knocking this one out. And then planning on what I'm going to do for these 2. It's got to go.
No, we're protesting.
It's time to, Minnesota's done.
Get out of here.
Leave Minnesota alone.
There's no more Minnesota.
Minnesota must stand.
Minnesota's done.
This is a sovereign nation now.
This is done a sovereign nation now. Get off my
Push the
land.
natives off our land.
Yes, I can.
What's happened? I'm here.
I'm taking down
got
Minnesota,
my-
and there's protests going on.
I will hit you with the Minnesotan bone.
I'm using the force.
Oh, lovely. Oh, no. No, you're
Don't
evil.
kill this. Don't.
You better stop it. You're done.
We're rebuilding New Minnesota.
You're done.
No, why is it always
Better than
me?
ever.
Stop hitting me.
Get off my land.
Stop.
Stop it. Get off my land. This is gonna be the new land of the
being a
snow
big bully.
island. This is gonna be the snow island. Oh, you're
this
done.
one. Give me. Let me reload. Oh man.
I see that we need to use extreme measures. Which side of history are you gonna be on, Bean? All right, I need you to distract them. If you're on my side, then I'll be back.
How should I distract them?
Just keep them there. I'm gonna send a message.
Oh, that'll.
Leah, there's a spy. Our info lines have been breached. All right. This is your last warning before I use excessive force.
We are the force now. Get out of here.
Well,
Get out of Minnesota.
New Minnesota will
this
stand.
is the last. One more warning.
You seem to have a lot of one more warnings.
I want to make sure it's in your best interest.
Oh man.
If you shoot one more shot at me, you're done.
Surrender your ugly face. Ha.
You got him. Oh, you got a chance? Oh, not
No,
that guy.
Uh-oh.
No! What is going on? Destroy it! No!
Do it! Do it now!
Do it now! Do it now!
Horrible.
I warned
Why
you.
would you do this?
I warned you.
That wasn't nice. I think I have to get my
Wait.
revenge.
No! Another island done. This one is very unique in that it's the first snowy one. while building this, I was kind of scared that it would stick out a bit too much just because they've all been grassy, but hopefully with the other biome islands added in, it should start to blend in a bit more. And I may even change some of these other small islands to the different biome variations now that I'm actually going with this idea. It wouldn't take me very long. They're small ones, so. But overall, I like it. My server mates are a bit upset that it's not exactly the same as, you know, it used to be, because it used to be Minnesota and now just a bunch of trees. But I do have some plans to add some life to this place, just not this episode. That'll come eventually. Maybe I want to have the islands a bit more in a complete state. That being said, I have made some changes as to what I'm gonna be doing. So I originally had a bigger island in the middle here. That is now gone, as I'm gonna put something else here to kind of make these biomes make a bit more sense, I think. Or maybe not even, maybe just to make the whole floating islands make sense. But that does leave 2 more islands that we have to do, and then our final little project here before the episode's done. I hope this is not taking too long. I don't know how much time I have left. But worst case, we'll save the middle thing for next episode. Anyway, we have 2 more islands here. One of them I want to be a jungle, and the other one I want to be a desert. So I'll probably put the desert over there and the jungle right here. But first we gotta enlarge the islands, and then yeah, you saw with this island, it's a bit of a process, and it also means I gotta learn how to make 2 new types of trees. I've got the spruce down, and I think they turned out very nicely. These are way better. Like, these are my top 2 trees, I think. I still prefer the cherry blossoms over there because they're just so fun to make. But these are definitely good. These are better than the oak ones. Anyway, let's start with the jungle, and then we'll go over to the desert. Okay, just for documentation's sake, what I've done is I've gone ahead, I put a hopper under the dispenser and a shulker box, so now the tag is contained within this shulker box. Now, for purposes of just being open and concise, if I pick up this shulker box, it will not count as me being tagged. And also for reference, if I did, for whatever reason, step on this pressure plate, it would count because it's part of a trap, but this is me transporting the tag away from here. Not the same thing, unfortunately. And we're gonna bring this over to Cole's base, I think, and just leave it there as a nice little gift to him. I think he may have lost it actually, so we're just gonna give it back to him real quick. No questions asked. Everything's okay. You know, you just gotta be a bit more careful with this thing in the future. And there we go. It's been properly primed. I'm gonna leave a little message saying that, you know, he left it. He needs to be a bit more careful, I think, in the future. That's a delicate thing there. We don't want to lose it again now, do we? I left him a nice little message. Hey, I think you lost this in my storage room with the help of my TCB, also known as the tag containment box. I was able to safely return it to you. Please be more careful in the future, Medulla. Alright, let's head back to my base before he logs on and just tags me normally. Would it be unfair to say that this is easily my best looking island? I mean, just even being on it, it just feels so good, so complete, if not the most complete island yet. And it looks even better, both at nighttime and when you take a step back. The one thing that I would change if I could, but it's unfortunately out of my hands, is the color of the leaves and grass, since it doesn't quite match the vibrancy of the jungle, the actual jungle biome. But even without that, I still think they look really nice. I'm really happy with how the jungle trees came out, especially when I consider them to be the hardest tree that I've made yet, because I could never understand the shape of the jungle tree, and now I think I have a good understanding. So I think it's another tree to tick off on my list. With that being said, there's only one island left to do, which is the desert island. This one I imagine to be the easiest, but now that I'm thinking about it, it may not be. I want to do a bit of an oasis, and so I kind of got to find the right mix of sand and grass, and I also got to learn to make palm trees. But palm trees are probably the easiest tree that I would have made today. Spruce trees aren't difficult to make. The hardest part is getting the leaves right, and that's not terrible. Jungle trees, I think, were the hardest, but they're just, you gotta build them right. You gotta have a good trunk base, and then you gotta make sure you do the leaves. It has to be like a canopy. They have to extend, and then all the vines too. But the palm trees don't really have anything like that. They have very minimal amounts of leaves, and the leaves they do have are very straight and an easy pattern to create. So I don't think the challenge for this island will come from the tree, which is good, because I think I've had enough trees. Alright, so I've gone ahead and taken the dirt island and changed it into a sandstone island. One of the biggest challenges that is going to come from making this desert island is the fact that it's a floating island with sand. And as all of you guys know, sand has gravity in Minecraft. So I need to have sandstone under all of it, or it just won't float. So I'm kind of worried that's going to make it look a little teeny bit weird. But at the same time, it should be fine if I do it correctly. So I do need to line out a little area here to actually make the pool, and then I'll cover the rest in sandstone and dirt. Alright, I've been doing a bit more work, and now we have a build that is slowly coming together. I think the oasis is looking really nice. I placed these little mounds here, which is actually the first time I've done this on any of the islands. Most of the islands are pretty flat on the top, but I did kind of want to emulate the desert dunes that typically, are in a desert, especially surrounding the oasis, because, the water tends to pool at the bottom of these little mounds. And I've also begun putting some greenery here in the oasis itself. I still need a few bushes, and most importantly, I need the oasis trees. I think next up we will go ahead and tackle the palm trees and the bushes, which are the last two things that we should hopefully need in this oasis, unless I'm forgetting something. I think I'm liking it so far. This island may eventually be able to overtake the jungle island, but that may be getting, a bit ahead of myself. Let's finish it up first before I start giving my judgment. The tree stumps are in. Now it's just to put the leaves on them. These trunks were pretty easy to do once I figured out how to do them. Just for a little glimpse on my building process when it comes to these trees, I do often search up references online, both in and outside of Minecraft, just to get some ideas on how to build them. And so that goes for all the trees I've done, except for the oak trees. The oak trees are the worst because I didn't look up references for them because I don't know what type of tree I want specifically. But for the spruce, the jungle, the cherry blossoms from the tag tower, and now these palm trees, I make sure I always get some type of inspiration. So that way, I kind of have a bit more of a guidance when it comes to building. With the palm trees now in and fully leaved, the oasis is done. At least the top part of it. Minus maybe a few more details, but those are stuff I'll tackle off camera. But I must say, this has turned out really, really well, especially the palm trees. The leaves aren't perfect, but I think they do their job perfectly fine, especially whenever they kind of get a bit mixed with each other. So it kind of acts as a bit of a shield from the bad looking leaves. I'm sorry if I sound a bit delirious, by the way. It's currently 6 a.m., almost 7, and I've been working all night. I'm very tired, but glad to see that this project is almost done, and it's raining. Why is it always raining on this server? Anyway, there's one last thing to do this episode before we reach the end, and that is the bottom of this island, which will be one more time lapse. island done. The last island is fully in place with the bottom complete, and it looks amazing. All three of these islands look really good now. I'm really happy I went with the biome idea. I think the jungle may still be my favorite, but the desert oasis is definitely top 2. It looks absolutely magical, and I love it. That is all I have time for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. I know I enjoyed making it, as well as most of these trees. The jungle trees are still really stressful, but I'll be back soon with episode number 11, in which we will probably tackle some of these other islands, mainly that one behind me, because I would like to finally start investigating what this UFO is all about. I'll see y'all on that episode, guys. Have a good rest of your day. And as always, goodbye.